이쯤
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahnans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, Don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrecht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Xion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Xion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrekt 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
No, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Helganquil's civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen,
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
a man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renins inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Try harder! Burn!
Ready and ready!
You're mine!
Armor won't save you!
I'll heal you all! Healing! That's my cue!
Shut him down! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here I go!
No escape! Eat this!
Radiant over here!
Amazing.
Get behind me! Allow me to help. Nothing gets by me!
Resonate with the orb!
night!
By the power of
On your
flame!
heel!
Eternal
Devastation! I could do without this pain!
Their arcs were interrupted.
Shine! Radiant light! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Benediction light.
By the power of flame!
Radiant Radiant!
Art expert coming through!
Another incantation ruin.
what I can do!
By the power of flame! Don't mind if I do! Inferno crossing!
Begin! Elusive deity!
Hurricane Spark!
Shine!
Radiant
Escape! No! It exploded?
Don't get caught in the blast! Flaming meteor!
Resuscitation!
Annihilation!
Benediction light.
I owe you one. Heal!
Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Take this! I'm not
How do you like
Blazer.
being pounded into shape?
You're mine!
I'll heal you all!
Soda! Soaring light spear!
Healing circle!
Now it's
Deal! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malika!
Take
Here I come!
again! I'm almost double!
You're mine! I'm not done! Eternal devastation!
Grind you into dust.
Can't get out of this! There! Not today!
Water, hear my call!
Armor won't save you!
The tempest
I'm ready!
Coming through!
Remember!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dahnan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. Oh, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Dahnan, do you think have ever seen this?
regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Hey, what do you say we fight that shiny?
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
Far enough!
You're finished!
Not on me! Mega Ray! These ones can run rings around us! Hear my call!
Begin! Take this! Vacuum blade!
Glacial speed!
Vacuum blade!
Freeze
back!
Stand back.
Wind!
I'll trip it up.
Soaring light spear!
Hear my call!
Rising falcon!
Get behind me!
You're mine! Move! Get up!
Begin.
The blade inside me yearns to be let free!
Hurricane!
Here I come!
Ready and ready. I can carve through armor.
Hurricane!
You're finished!
Now we're not.
Vacuum blade!
This one's mine!
You're mine! Eternal devastation!
Ready! Rise and shine!
Guardian shield!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't...
Coming through! Ha! Mount! Scarlet Inferno!
On your
Flame! Reload!
Eternal devastation!
Power of flame!
You're mine!
I'm ready.
I'm not done!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
Think we overdid it?
Not by a long shot.
I'm not done!
Steering flame!
No further.
Reload!
Here I come! Ignite! You're mine! Eternal devastation! Here I come! Vacuum blade!
Anything in armor is all mine.
Strike!
Inferno! Hear my call!
Does it hurt?
Take this!
I can carve through armor.
Time to shine!
You're finished!
Mega Ray!
Take this! I'm ready! In an instant! Impact clock! I can feel my power growing!
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
Flaming meteor! Here goes! Explosion! Hidden
Far
flame
enough!
of fury!
Back flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Inside me, yours to be let free. Not today. You're mine.
Steering
I'm not
flame!
done.
Reload!
Eternal
This
devastation.
one's mine.
You're finished.
Radiant pierce!
No escape.
Shattering the pieces!
Attack!
You want me? Now you see what I can do!
Lunar corruption! Hurricane Lunar!
I'm ready!
In an instant. Impact block. We work well together.
Like a
You're
finely
mine.
timed walk.
I'm not done. This Sword Rain Alpha.
Steering flame!
Pierce.
Bloody
Annihilation!
No
Radiant
escape.
time! Here!
I'm gone!
Do it.
Stardust.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Are they calling reinforcements?
In the mouth!
Primed and
Don't
ready!
get surrounded! You can't get out of this!
Eliza
The
blow!
flame inside me.
Annihilation!
Yours to be
By the
let
power
free.
of flame! Finish without a trace!
You're finished.
Here
Rending
goes!
you apart!
No escape.
Explosion! Hear me!
Bloody
Flame of
hell!
fury! Burning thrust!
Soaring Light Spear.
Ready and ready!
Hurricane strike!
I'm not done.
Far enough!
You're finished.
Armor won't save you! Captivity!
Not on my watch!
I'm not done.
Make it rain!
It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle! Hear my call! Hurricane strike! Flame of fury! Burning strike! Hear my call! I never miss! I'm ready! Hurricane strike!
Bloody
Where
hell!
are you going?
Make it rain!
It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
More Shuko?
Keep calm and take them down.
It's over. Ignite.
Burning strike!
Here I
Hear my
come.
call!
Blaze
No
your target!
escape. Eternal
Reinforcements incoming. Not a problem.
Burning power! Freeze laser!
You're mine.
Look sharp!
Eternal devastation.
Inferno cross!
Negative Jake!
Take this.
Armor won't save you!
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack!
Indeed. Remain ever vigilant.
Radiant eye watch!
A Lord's power in reinforcements!
Take this.
In a bind! Look sharp!
Not today.
Hear
Here
my
I
call!
come. Crashing blade.
Freeze the
On
fury!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Reinforcements?
Resonate with the earth!
Take this.
Stalagmite!
No escape.
Bathe in blood.
Take this. It's over. Eternal devastation.
Lunar
Take this.
hurricane strike!
I'm not done.
If it's in the sky, do it. Bridwell.
Frozen!
Hammer!
More. Take this.
I'll grind you into dust! Captivity!
Take this.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Hear my call!
Make it rain!
Still.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside you!
Take this! Denied!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Everlasting! Negative gate!
Not on my watch!
Bloody howling!
Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Look sharp!
Clearing flame!
Lunar Rondo! Thanks.
I'll cover you!
Be still!
Recover!
Piercing roar!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Will this help?
Crush!
I'm
You're
ready!
finished!
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction!
Here
There's
I come!
still more to go!
Lunar Rondo!
I never miss! This
Soaring
one's
Light
mine!
Spear!
By the power of flame!
You're mine!
But that'll bring you down!
No escape!
Now where
It's
was I?
over! Crush!
This one's
You're
mine!
mine!
The ray!
No escape!
Blizzard blade!
Crush! yourself finished!
More? Shattering of pieces! Attack time!
I'm going to need
what I can
all
do.
the power of
You're
my
mine! Eternal devastation!
More? Far enough!
Another incantation ruined.
The healing flame of fury!
Burning strike!
Freeze laser!
On your
Going in!
Kick it!
Inferno crossing!
You're mine! Here I come!
Too shy to come up. Their arcs were interrupted. Bringing you apart. I'm ready.
Darling! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action. Resonate with the
Take this! I'm not done! Soaring light spear!
Let the marksman handle this!
Bringing you apart. Tiger blade. Take this.
Eternal devastation! You're finished!
I'm ready. Ready as well. Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
Now! Here I come! I'm not done! Soaring light spear!
Into the
Lightning
shadows!
focus! I'm not done!
Hurricane foot!
I'll smash you. Captivity. Look sharp.
There!
On field! Hurricane strike!
Eternal devastation! The blade inside me! You're
Far
let
enough.
free! No escape!
Don't mind if I do!
On your knees.
No escape! It's
Where
over!
are you going? Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
My exploits are bearing fruit. Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or... could they be... Zubul somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
Brace yourself!
Grant me the
This
strength
one's
to march on. Right here. I got Lionheart. Beat the song. Thunder Tiger.
Insects should stay on the ground.
Take this. Can't get out of this.
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Eternal devastation!
Shattering pieces. Armor won't save you.
Glacial spear! I'm ready!
You're mine!
Bloody howling.
That'll bring you down!
Vacuum blade!
Downfall! Lightning! Lightning spear! Not in the dream!
Inferno Rending you apart. Bloody howling.
Rising rocket!
Negative far enough.
There! Strike!
Mega ray!
Elusive
Take
demon.
it!
Critical Tiger blade.
It's over! I'm mine!
This one's mine!
Here I come!
Where are you going?
Escape!
Make it break.
I'm not done!
Piercing roll.
Rising falcon!
Back into the fray!
I'll smash you.
Annihilate!
Here I come! You picked the wrong
I'm
fight!
going to need to use all the
Elusive
power of my
deity.
healing arts to accomplish this!
Eating pile driver.
You're finished! Take this!
Can you take
I'm not done! Eternal devastation!
Hold on to your art! Here I come!
Can you take it?
Eternal devastation! Take
In the
it!
sky, it's
No
mine!
escape!
Do it!
Elusion.
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go! Not in your dream!
No escape! Soaring light spear!
Black and blade.
Sword Rain Alpha! No escape!
Execution.
Take this! Strike!
Far enough.
Lunar
Shattering
corruption!
pieces.
This one's all mine!
In a bind.
By the
You're
power
finished.
of flame!
I can carve
Vanish
through
without
armor.
a trace!
You're mine!
Piercing roll.
Take it! Crush!
Elusive deity.
There!
Crescent one more! Searing flame! That'll bring you down! Hurricane strike!
Can you take
I'm
it?
not done!
Make it rain.
Here I go! Astral energy! Full throttle! By the power of flame! Vanish without a
Soaring
trace!
light spear! Great! Say no more.
They really made us work for that one.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
It's over.
Into the shadows!
Anything in armor is all
Stay
mine.
calm. I shall provide if your reflexes will not serve you well here.
It's over.
Far enough!
Reload!
I can carve through armor! Tearing you apart!
Burn!
Hurricane Fly Ray!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Vacuum blade!
Inferno Fly!
I never miss!
Hurricane!
It's over.
Hurricane Fly!
On your
Take this!
Look here!
Eternal devastation!
air pressure.
Glacial Ray!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite. Rending you apart.
You're mine!
Bloody howling.
This one's mine!
Steering
Sword Rain! This one's all mine!
I'm out of air.
It's over!
In a bind.
Vacuum blade!
Are sealed by the power of
Make it rain!
Lost! Get toasty!
Burn strike! Now!
Hurricane Strike!
I'm ready!
Anything in order!
Blow them away!
There!
Now! Take this!
Shield and rain!
By the power of
Eternal
flame!
devastation! Take
Nothing
this!
gets by me!
No escape!
I can carve through armor!
Take this!
Far enough! Make it
It's
rain!
over! Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw!
I need to be stronger.
It'll take more than that to break my shield!
Dependable, relax.
Glacial Light!
Your mom!
2 heads? That's not even fair!
Here I come!
Inferno
Calamity! I owe you one.
Prepare to be sealed. Actually, bound is more appropriate.
Let's rock some more doing. There! How's this? Mega Ray!
Natural.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Let me show you
Anything in armor is all mine.
Let me free you of your
It's
power.
over! Dispel! I owe you one.
Hurricane Blossom!
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Hear my
I'm not
call!
done! Dragon Swarm!
Glacial Spear! Here's the
Take
evil!
this!
Freeze Lancer!
Leave the charge
Here
to
I
me.
come!
Denied.
Crush!
Where are you going? Pulse of regeneration. I can carve through armor. Hear my call.
Dragon Swarm! I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Did it!
Yeah.
My turn!
Nice technique.
No escape! Not today!
Revival crossing.
Dragon Swarm!
I'll grind you
Take
into
this!
dust. Hear my call.
Thrilling
Crush!
performance.
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil! Let me show you what my
Thunder
art can
touch.
do!
Hurricane
Use too much.
Flaming meteor.
Rending you bloody howling!
Jedi Aqua!
Dragon
Annihilation!
Swarm!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Ready to go.
I'm out of ammo!
Far enough.
Blood. Rending you apart.
What and weak!
I can carve through armor.
Bloody howling.
Gemini Aqua!
Negative art is being interrupted.
Crescent Moon.
Dragon Swarm!
Lunar Corruption!
Glacial
Blood
fire.
Stream!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Here I come!
Eagle Ray.
I'm not
In a
done!
bind.
Dragon Swarm!
Lunar Corruption!
Hurricane Dust.
Lunar Blast!
You're mine!
Suck-up.
Dragon Swarm!
On your knees.
Piercing sword.
I'm not done!
Power of Flame! Dragon Power!
Eternal devastation!
Prepare to be sealed.
Not a chance! Move it!
I can carve through armor.
Bloody
Power of
howling.
Flame!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm! Take this! I could do without this pain!
Downright.
Pulse of regeneration.
Lunar Corruption!
Ready to go.
Lunar
I
Blast!
owe you one!
Inferno crossing.
Everlasting.
Ignite!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
Here goes!
Air pressure.
Dragon
Lunar
Swarm!
Corruption! Lunar mind if I do!
Let me free you of your power.
Dragon Swarm!
In.
Dispel.
This one's mine.
Annihilation! By the
Dragon
power of
Swarm!
flame! Forbid it without a trace!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Armor won't save you.
Try harder!
Glacial fire.
I'll heal you all!
Hurricane
Let me
strike.
free
Take
you of
this!
your power.
This one's
Dragon
mine.
Swarm!
Far enough. Down. Your art.
You're my dog!
Flame of Fury!
You picked the wrong fight!
Water.
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial spear.
Here's outstanding form!
Dragon Swarm!
Flaming meteor.
Freeze Lancer!
Inferno cross.
I don't even know the
Interrupted.
word defeat.
This one's mine.
Here
Here's
I
a healing
come!
art!
Dragon Swarm!
First aid! Searing
shot.
Fluid!
Remember!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
I feel sprightlier than before.
Looks like some solid equipment.
This one.
No further! Dragon Swarm!
I'm going to need all the power of my healing. I think I'll pass on the handshake.
You're mine! Dragon
Demon Red! Water! Here's my call! Not in your dreams!
I'm not! Heading inside, make sure to be let free! Elusive Deity! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Outstanding form.
Ruin check! Dragon Swarm!
Dropped in pain.
That'll bring you down.
Here I come!
Shine.
Radiant Light! Dragon Force of Regeneration!
Here's by the
Try
power.
harder! My
I'll
turn!
stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
Force of Regeneration! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Benediction light.
Here I come!
Armor won't save you.
Hurricane Strike!
Pull myself in charge.
I'm not done!
Power of water.
I'm not done! It's on! Dragon Swarm! Burn in hell!
Appreciate the help.
Dragon Swarm!
Explosion!
Struck!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher. Hurricane Strike.
Struck!
Blizzard
Fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Take this!
Confiscated!
No escape! Dragon!
Gemini Ultra!
This one's
Annihilation!
My turn! I'm not done!
On guard.
I'm not done! Dragon!
Radiant here!
I can do without this pain!
Lock up the door. I'm ready to go. Where are you going?
Bathed in blood.
Going in.
Try harder! My turn!
Bloody with my heart.
Can't get out of this!
Now you see what I can do.
Blizzard blow!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher.
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish
Down.
this. Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
Take this!
From this one, their arts were interrupted.
My turn! Regeneration! Ignite! Dragon Swarm!
You must be tired of healing me. I'm merely doing what I can.
Glad you're on out.
Fire of flame!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing art! Don't mind if I do!
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Lunar Blast! I'm all self-control! Annihilate!
Now! You're
Let me
mine!
show you what my art can do!
Make it rain! Shine! In an instant! Impact Clock! We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? Had a good partner.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Not even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrect 35 about it sometime.